Welcome back. Much to the chagrin of Craig's fader, I am starting with the Lime Green Express. So, Craig wanted me to document this. So, here is kind of a before shot. As you can see, we're missing quite a few things. And I'm going to start with maybe putting the exhaust on. So, stay tuned. So I thought we had an extra exhaust in our box of parts, but that's an Urban Express exhaust, I believe. And then we got a little damage there, but nothing welding a washer on won't fix. So, oh well, I've got another exhaust here somewhere. Excuse me. Well, shit. It gets better or worse. Where is this? Somebody welded that bracket on. That would be the wrong way to fix this. What you want to do, if ever this lip is broken, is just weld a washer and then Dremel it down. Don't weld it to the back. This exhaust may be, well, oh, why me? Oh well. All right, we've got the exhaust installed, new exhaust gasket. I had to get one of my exhausts out of the stash, and then I used that white exhaust cover. So yeah, that looks real nice. Cleaned up the stator cover a little bit. So now let's install the rack. Okay, rack and gas tank on. Noticed some wiring issues while I was up in the seat pan, and then we're missing a fender stay in the back here, a bulb and a tail light. Wiring's kind of crusty. Someone attached the oil line there, I guess to keep it safe. But and I think I've got an oil cap and a gas cap somewhere, so we'll keep on plugging away. Okay, I got a portion of a fender stay on it. I only had half of one. And then we got a seat on it. So we're getting there. Okay, I worked the starter, and I'm wondering, what do we got for oil inside this thing, right? I think it had 2,400 miles on it. Something like that. Anyways, and then when I first saw this, I'm like, that's an awfully white left side cover. And then I noticed that a little later somebody had spray painted it. So, because usually they kind of yellow, and they did a lousy job spray painting it. All right, what do we got? Actually, we'll kind of wait to make a determination, but initially it's not looking too bad. As a matter of fact, someone may have changed that oil trying to get it to start. But I guess the other issue is how much is in there. And then the choke was stuck in the chamber, but I did get the carb off. But I'm probably just going to go with a new carb. That's always the usually the best solution. I'm missing a front brake lever, missing a front fender, and the tires don't seem to be holding air. And I got some wiring issues. I got to get a gas cap gasket, or make one. Because gasket, but I found an oil cap. I need to get a petcock. I get a gasket. Petcock, because this petcock's probably, they're usually toast, but I could be wrong. Could get lucky, you know. Well, I guess we'll give it a try, because I got to order a petcock anyways. So I got to wait on it. Yeah, I think somebody changed that oil, so didn't have to do that, but it still may not have the proper amount in. Who knows? The gas tank, the oil sight's missing, but if I can just use it for gas premix, life will be good. And it's missing the key, although I have another key. I'm wondering if it's hot wired. And of course, it's missing a horn. And but we're on our way. I'll tell you what. We'll either find out if it has spark, if it's hot wired, or we'll find out nothing. Let's see what we got here in the world of. Be nice if it had spark. Let's see. No, that's not a good start. Uh-oh. You know what that means? Something broke inside there. And that came loose. Let's get the lights back on. Damn it! Things just got a little difficult. I'll show you what's going on. There was no spark. Now it was working a minute ago, but it was not working as it should. So then the question is, was someone in here before me? See how it doesn't catch? There's a I forget. I think it's a starter arm or something. That probably broke, would be my guess. But I can't tell if someone's taken these off before. You gotta get the impact driver out to get those off. And I'm wondering if it's worth the trouble, because I can just stick another engine on this thing, drain the oil on this, and maybe worry about it later. But I wonder if somebody painted this to... Nah, that wouldn't make sense. I was going to say, did they paint this to kind of cover their tracks? But I think it just probably got yellow and they painted. I don't know. Who knows, man, what's going on exactly. But the oil was fresh. But when this doesn't catch, there's a little arm in there that's supposed to catch the sprocket or gear or whatever, and it must have broke. The spring still works if it does that, but it's really not that big a deal. I've done it before. But, oh well. I'm thinking that we just slap another engine on it. Is what I'm thinking. I think that's a rather good idea. And that can be done fairly quickly. But as far as tonight goes, well, the other issue is, I gotta look in the headlight and see if they hot wired it or if they just stole the key and sold it or something, or put it on another bike. So, and I gotta fix the wiring up there, which is no big deal. I can solder that up. I think I'm just gonna swap the engine at this rate, because I don't have that part, I don't think, and I'd have to wait on it anyways. And if I take this engine off, it'll be a lot easier to clean up. So, well, and I can put an engine on that has spark. Well, it could be related to that key though. So anyways, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a front fender on this thing. Yeah, maybe I'll just wait on that. Here's the horn wiring. Do I have an extra horn? I think I'm just going to drain the oil and maybe put an engine on later this weekend. I've got one with the carb too, as a matter of fact. Just make life easy. Well, that's too bad. But that's what we'll do. We'll do that. Looks like there's plenty of oil. It's getting a bit darker now, but still doesn't look that bad. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back. All right, we got a front fender on. And while I was doing that, I noticed that we don't have front brake cable, speedometer cable, or a front brake arm. I forget what it's called, but yeah, something to activate the front brakes with. Well, that might explain. Someone might have, I don't know what they were doing. I think somebody parted this out or robbed parts from it. What can you do? Okay, we're going to proceed with the engine swap. So, I guess first things first, I've got to put this drain plug back in. I've let it drain overnight. I guess an easy way to tell the drain plug is it's the only one that's not a screw. Well, it's a screw bolt combo. Let's get this hopefully safely out of the way. Deal with it in a minute. So this is similar on the Urban Express. You want to take off this got paint on that bolt as well. You want to get off this brake line, and generally, so you don't lose any pieces, put everything back on the line. And then, let's see, if we can, this would just be on the Express. Let me get a pair of pliers. Pull that brake line out, and then I might have to, let's might have, if I can get it under or not. Alright, we'll deal with that later. Get this shock bolt off. I think it's a 12 millimeter. Yep. The brake cable is a 14 millimeter. That hadn't been taken out in a long time, if at all. Not yet. Really? Really, man? Be careful. Alright, unplug the spark plug, boot, unplug the stator wires. Sometimes, be careful. Sometimes these are hard to get apart, so, but don't break them. Alright, now this one has the carburetor already off. Take the ground wire out. You can either take the carburetor off or take the choke and the throttle and slide out. And then we got to get under these covers. Oh, nice. There must have been mice in here. And then get that engine mounting bolt out. We only have one cover, which is a 14 and a 17. And have a place, a crate or a box where you can set the frame on. And then usually you need some pliers. Pull this out the rest of the way. So, spark plug, mounting bolt, stator wires, carburetor, ground. I still got to get the brake line completely off. Shock. And I think that should cover it. Maybe if I push this forward I can get it off. It's on there. Come on out of there. That's giving me troubles. I'm going to take the rear fender off. make life a little easier. Alright, I think what I need to do is partially reinstall this cable. Alright, now get it through here. Can it be done? What is this? An 8 or a 10? Or loosen this up some. It's going to battle me. It's going to fight me. Normally, I have two 10mm. I think I do. That's what it's going to take. Lord. There's two nuts here for adjusting this cable, and I'm just backing them off, hoping that that does the trick. Almost. How far will they come off? Lord. Get that out of the way. Okay. Now, we should be completely free. Just to give it a once over. And we should be able to lift it off. All right. So this is going on for quite a while. So I'm going to get the rear tire off because I'm going to put it on my other engine. And then insulation is just the reverse of removal. All right, maybe you want to see the installation process. So I've gone ahead and swapped the engine, put the back tire back on. The engine had a different exhaust on it already. So now I'll put the frame on and hopefully button it up. cleaning up here, that's for sure. Need that axle bolt, and that's still on the engine. We'll try to get that back in place too, although it can be a bit challenging. With all this stuff in the way. Let me see here. Got to raise that up with the screwdriver. Close. I don't know why this is always such a bear to get in. See what, I'm going to put the, let me tighten up the rear shock first. Go. It's over here, dude. Right here. That'll help steady things. And then, let's see if I can tap this in place. I think really I've got to have this installed in advance, so you know what? Just pop it out. Just use the bolt. All right, we're a bit offline. There we go. Washer nut. $17 and a $14. Yeah, we need to get organized. Things have gotten a little out of control here. Where's Mr. 14? There it is. There you are. Alright, I think that's good. There we go. And then, tell you what, hook up our brake line. I'm going to have to adjust that. But we'll just get everything back together. I can just get this started. Now this WD-40 gel lubricant is good on a lot of things. I'm going to have to adjust that spring. But we'll get there. Spring's got to be adjusted, but let's just get this hooked up. So we got the shock, our throttle cable and choke cable over here. Let's hook up our stator wires, yellow to yellow. White to white. Alright, and black and white to black and white. Hook up our spark plug boot. I need the Kickstarter for this. And put on the carburetor and the ground. And the rear, we'll do the rear fender real quick. It's best to, get it back together ASAP, so you don't. Little things tend to go missing when they're not back on the bike. This is wrong. We want a small bolt for this. Come on, get in there. Gonna fight me, aye? Gonna fight me, is that the way it is? It's smaller than that. And then I guess I gotta get this on first. No. There we go. One. Alright, what happened here? This thing got kind of torqued. I'm going to use some zip ties to straighten this out. I may take it off and try to bend it back into place. But, all right, there you go. We'll pick it up later. There you go. So, the curse of the Spader. You know, another leaky gas tank, or carb, or petcock, or whatever, man. So that gas tank isn't for shit. It rusted out down near the petcock, and it's missing the oil sight, so anyhow, any gas you put in it drains into the oil side of it and whatever, right? So we're using the temporary gas tank, and I saved you the soldering extravaganza. There were actually mice living in the frame and seat pan at one time. So we ran into some chewed up wires, and then I had to put in that ignition key, and that required a bunch of soldering. Still needs a front brake cable, a front brake cam lever, and a speedometer cable, and I don't think the headlight's working, but I need to take it out for its quote-unquote maiden ride here. Had to swap the engine, as I indicated earlier. The seat fits, which is nice, and might just try to do a cheap headlight fix. I'm pretty sure it's not working. Yeah, it's not working, although the high beam indicator works now, thanks to me. It needs a horn as well. Someone stripped off a bunch of parts of this bike, so I think it was used as a parts bike, but now it is back on the road. So, you know, some people strip them down and part them out, and some people put them back on the road. Oh, it's missing the right side cover down at the foot pegs. And there's still some the mice used the styrofoam insert as nesting material, and that's why it was all chewed up. But there you go. Finish it up later this week and start on the other one. Now the brake light switch is frozen on, so the tail light and brake light are always on, so I guess I'll have to worry about that. But man, I tell you, why even bother with those old gas tanks? They usually suck, man. I mean, what's the failure rate on those? Probably greater than 50%. I'll keep the tank in case wherever this goes they want it, but I'm not going to bother trying to coat the tank or anything. Screw that. I could actually probably string up 3 of those temporary tanks, and you know, really one's sufficient for, you know, just taking it out and cruising around for 30 minutes. You'll probably get an hour out of it, who knows. And saving yourself maybe 5 pounds. Maybe more, I don't know. But anyhow, Can't wait to take it for a spin. Hope you enjoyed the Honda Express Resurrection. I did. At least I did now. I think I was cursing through part of it. Were your ears burning, Craig? Hey, thanks for watching.